I think the defense needs to take the fact that our secondary played outstanding. And we got a lot of those guys back, and we're going to get another guy, 2 guys back that are going to be healthy, which is going to help out. We added a transfer in and some more competition. That's going to keep these guys hungry. Now, the main thing I think they need to learn and progress in year 2 of this system is the pass rush. The sack total, I mean, everybody can say what they want. The defensive pressures on the quarterback was high. The hits on the quarterback was okay. But the numbers of sacks, you got to get the quarterback down in the SEC because the quarterbacks we're playing, if they get away, there's 15 to 20 yards of nobody till a DB turns around and realizes, well, oh, shit, I got to go tackle this quarterback or escort him out of bounds. And a lot of times that's really what hurt us this year is us not being able to get either the quarterback down or the running back in the backfield. So I would say the tackles of loss need to be a focus and actually getting the quarterback on the ground.
I agree. And to the piggyback off what you said, Lou, it just brought to me, we need to stop trying to do these arm tackles. I've saw too many times where we have linemen reaching for trying to tackle somebody. I'm like, lower your pads and hit them in the mouth. That's how you really affect offense. That's how you get guys on the ground. Hit them hard. Use your pads. What are you going to say, Pettey?
But you started it out with a simple back to basic fundamental to what the blueprint to having an elite defense is. It's a defense that doesn't have to blitz because they got 4 dogs up front that wreak absolute hell on a quarterback and give your back 7 every chance to play nothing but zone, exotic coverages, whatever they want to do in the back 7, because you got 4 dudes that make it feel like you're getting blitzed every play. And you want back to dominant defenses, you got to have 4 defensive linemen that can absolutely just wreak havoc.
There's a word for that. It's called road graders.
Road graders. Ty, anything you want to add on that regarding Alabama football, what you would like to see in year 2 under DeBoer?
I think y'all hit it on the head. I think that we have to have a pass rush. I mean, this secondary next year, I am as excited for this secondary as any secondary in the last decade, even under Nick Saban. Like, that's how good I think this secondary is. From Damani to Zabian to Bray Hubbard to Keon Sabb, like even mixing Zay Mincy in there. Then you get Cameron Calhoun from Utah, who was one of the highest rated defensive backs in the nation. Like, let's not forget that. He, I believe, was top 10 in the nation.
Yeah.
Highest graded DBs. And guys at Utah have actually spoke out and been like, yeah, Bama just got a monster. This secondary is so loaded. But, Lou, you hit the nail on the head, man. You think this secondary is good now? Wait until quarterbacks are dropping back, feeling pressure from Gonzae Pierre. And then they have to get rid of it. Ivan Taylor. And don't forget about the kid that transferred in from Charlotte, Cam Hayward. I forget his last name, but the kid's a workhorse. Just green, right? Like just has a lot to learn. Kid's a workhorse, though. You got to love his attitude. Coming in, knowing that he's going to have to work. Seeing some young guys take some spots and him just doubling down and working. Like, you got to love that. That's exactly what Bama's all about. But, Lou, you hit the nail on the head. Pettey, you're 100% right. If you can get home with 4-man pressures, I mean, when Bama beat the brakes off of Michigan State, I think they blitzed in that playoff game twice, maybe. And listen, what I will say, if we're being objectively fair, I don't know that that's going to be a thing anymore with NIL. Just because defensive linemen, right? Like, it's unless you're Georgia's just stacking defensive linemen, but it's going to be hard even for Georgia going forward to keep those classes. I mean, you look at Texas walking into the state of Georgia, getting a big win for one of their top guys. But you have to get more pressure on the quarterback, and you have to be better than what Bama has been. There's no doubt about that. Whether that's mixing it up, if you can get home with 4, that's great. If you can get home with 5, that's great. But, Lou, you hit the nail on the head. You have got to be able to get home. And if you think this secondary is good now, just think of this, guys, and this is the last thing I'll say. This secondary was that good. Like, I think they were, top 12, top 15 in the nation? Maybe even top 10. Like, they were that good. Lou, how many sacks did Bama have? Let the people know.
25 sacks.
So you have that few sacks. Now, granted, LT was a monster in quarterback pressures. I give the man that. If he starts converting close to home, he might have had 10 sacks himself. So it's about
we were seventh
converting.
nationally in interceptions. So
That's ridiculous. That's how good this secondary is. Hats off to Coach Mo. That guy right there is earned a major payday. That's really all I have to say. I think y'all killed it.